I'm recording. Yes. Okay. Cool. So, hello. My name is Pockets, and I do retro hunting, and I do music and all that other stuff. But today it's retro hunting. Um, I say retro hunting. I'm going to talk about it first. The reason I haven't been doing retro hunting and gaming videos recently is because I've been going around the charity shops and everything's the same. They don't have the same amount of turnaround like other places do. Edinburgh tends to kind of stagnate over a few months. So I kind of stopped and then forgot about it. But I ended up in Dunoon for a friend of mine's wedding, but I'll get to that later. Where are we? I've got loads of stuff. It's all over the bed. So before I went to Dunoon, I thought, well, I need something to pass the time when I get to Dunoon, and I've always wanted one of these. I've always wanted a PSP. Don't ask me why. Well, I mean, it's the Game Gear of this generation. Like the Nintendo DS is doing so well, and this kind of, I don't know, it wasn't necessarily a flop. It did all right, but yeah, it wasn't kind of as successful as the DS. So I picked this up and two games for what did I pay again? It was so long ago I can't remember. This says £10, but I managed to haggle them down to a fiver. This I found in a charity shop, super cheap. I think all in I paid like £23 for this. This was in a shop, broken. It was in Cash Generator. They do spares repair stuff that they can't fix in the shop. All that was wrong was the hinge clip, you know, the bit which lets it know that the door is closed, had fallen out. So I just put that back in and it works properly. This is PSP 3000, which means it has a really good screen, and it has a TV out, which is good. So I got PSP, Loco Roco, and GTA Vice City Stories for 22, 23 quid. And I thought, yay, yeah, I can play that when I get to Dunoon because I'll be bored out of my mind when I get there. I also picked up a copy of Tetris. The guy in Cash Generator threw that in for free because they have a million of these bloody things. But I still can't believe it. They want to charge £1.99 for them, and yet it's like one of the most common games on the system. So anyway, I ended up in Dunoon for a friend of mine's wedding, and it went really well. It was all really, really wonderful, and it was amazing food. Oh my god, amazing food! Um, but I found myself in a strange place with lots of charity shops, and I've heard nothing but good things about the charity shops in Dunoon. So I wandered around the charity shops with my girlfriend, and we came across some really interesting stuff. I was in one charity shop, and I was looking for games and stuff, and there was no games anywhere. And I eventually found myself in the children's book section for some reason in one of these charity shops, and I found these. I found Golden Sun for the Game Boy Advance, Legend of Zelda: Oracle of Seasons for the Game Boy Color, Pitfall for the Game Boy Advance. Where are we? Mission Impossible for the Game Boy Advance, which is factory sealed. And Spyro Adventure for the Game Boy Advance. So I was like, oh my god! And they were only asking for, for Golden Sun $2.99, for Zelda $2.99, for Pitfall $2.99, and for the sealed Mission Impossible $2.99. And this one was also $2.99, Spyro. But I cracked them open just to see if everything was in there. They have the manuals and everything, and I thought, well, you know, these sort of places, they store the cartridges at the counter. So I go to the counter, and the cartridges are nowhere to be found. Apparently they don't store the cartridges in the back. So when I kind of realised that okay, they don't have the carts, they're not going to be able to sell the games in the boxes, they said that they were just going to throw these out. They were going to throw them in the bin. I can't let that happen because they've got all the stuff. They've got the inlays, they've got the maps, they've got the posters, they've got the instruction manuals. They're all here, just missing the games, and they were just going to throw them away. So I managed to get these three completely for free. The boxes are in relatively good condition. They're a bit squished for being in the kids' book section, but I mean, other than that, I think a bit of TLC will bring these kind of back up to standard, especially the Oracle of Seasons. This is in really good condition. So yeah, these three didn't have any games in them, which was a bummer because I really wanted to have these games in my collection. Considering how much they go for online, it's an absolute nightmare to get these games like not in retail. So Golden Sun, Pitfall, and Legend of Zelda, I'm gonna have to find the games for elsewhere. because they're not in the boxes. But there is a silver lining. There were games in these ones. There was a game in this one, Spyro's Adventure. I mean, the box is in pretty tatty condition. They were saying $2.99 for it, and I got it for $2.99. I mean, it's all there: the map, the manual. There's a couple of tears on the back, which it's a bit of a nightmare. And yeah, and then this one intrigued me because, sorry if it's moving, it's on the bed, you see. This one intrigued me because it's marked at $29.99 US dollars. So this is in dollars right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. And it's in a shop in Dunoon in Scotland, and it's marked T14, which is an American rating, and it's sealed, factory sealed, never been opened. It's still got the tag for hanging it up. I don't quite understand how it got there. This is just such an interesting thing. I mean, it's a rubbish game, and it's probably not worth anything, and I'm never going to open it anyway to play it. So, and it's crushed to all hell. Like, this thing's all crushed at the top. But it just confuses me how this is an American game still sealed. These empty boxes are American copies, E for everyone, and E for everyone. And they're all American copies. And how did they end up in a little shop in Dunoon? I don't quite understand that. But Spyro, this is a PAL. This is a Europe version of the game. So that's cool. So yeah, that's an interesting story. I don't quite understand how this is sealed. An American game sealed in Dunoon. It's weird. Okay, so I'm not editing this because I can't be bothered, and it takes too long. Anyway, in the same shop, I come across this. I don't have Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I have 1 and 2. I don't have 3, so I picked it up. It was 99 pence, and the disc is in pretty good condition, which is fun. But we've got the manual here. No, we've got actually Provoking a Reaction, which is a catalogue or something. Then we've got the manual, and we've got all the gumph that comes with it as well. So that's in good nick. Yeah. So that's what happened when I was in Dunoon at someone's wedding, and I came across all that fun stuff. So when I got back to Edinburgh, I slept because I was tired after travelling. But the next day I kind of thought, well, I've not really been around my charity shops in Edinburgh for a little while, so I might as well give it a go. So I went up the usual charity shops. I discovered one charity shop that had a boxed, mint condition DMG 01 Game Boy, the big grey thing in a box with all its bits. But they're asking £50 in a charity shop. It's like, why would I pay that when I could pay £40 for exactly the same thing online? You know, it's nuts. So I said to them, I said, look, you've charged way too high for that. So hopefully the next time I go in, they've reduced it. If not, then oh well, sucks to be them. So, and I wandered around that same street, because we've got different streets have lots of charity shops on them. So I usually do a street a day, because it saves time, and it means I can I can spend longer in charity shops rather than rushing from all these charity shops. So I went down this one street, there was nothing in them. Nothing at all. Yes, there was nothing in them, thank God for that. But then the next day, which is today, I decided to go down another street and basically get the bus down to the bottom, then walk all the way back up. It's maybe half a mile of a walk, which isn't bad. There's quite a high density of charity shops. So I was wandering around, and the first few charity shops, there was nothing but sports games. It looked like everything had been picked through, and all the good stuff was gone. I was like, someone's definitely been here today. And then I ended up at a little shop called Games Masters Game Exchange. And I went in and I was looking around, and obviously I've just picked up a PSP. I was looking for games and stuff for that, and some other bits and bobs. And then I was like, there's nothing here. Everything feels like it's been picked through. There's no like reasonably okay games. Like no Mario's, there's no Zelda's, there's no nothing like that. So then I spoke to the guy behind the counter, and he said, yeah, someone's been in earlier that day. I was like, right, there's nothing. I'm going to find absolutely nothing today. So I asked him to have a look through his unboxed games, and I come across these two things, and one of them is Ninja Gaiden for the Master System. I didn't know it'd come out for the Master System, and I recently just sold my copy of Shadow Warriors because I've been needing money. But now I'm back in the game again, so I've got Ninja Gaiden for Master System. So I don't know if it's any good or not. I'm going to give it a play. That was £2. No, that was £1. It was £1 because it's a retail shop. It's Games Exchange. And then I also picked up one of my favorite games ever. I've only ever played it for the Atari ST, which means I'm probably not going to like the soundtrack for this particular version, but the soundtrack is what made it for me. I got Xenon 2 Magablast for £2. It's got some stickers on it, but it looks like they can come off relatively easy. And it's unboxed, but man, I love this game so much I couldn't really pass it up. This has like got a place right here for me because I love Xenon 2 Magablast. The first one, not so much, but this one, yeah, it's pretty good. So I'm like, well, oh, this sucks. I'm not going to find anything. You can tell I've got something over here, can't you? I'm not going to find anything. This is absolutely rubbish. Oh, this is mince. So I'm going to leave them till last. So I ended up in a charity shop, and I have a thing for obscure PS1 games, especially when they're not in the standard sort of case like this, the PAL cases. In America, they just come in jewel cases, but PAL cases, they're kind of big fat things, almost like Dreamcast games, except without the double interior. So yeah, I like picking up like relatively obscure PS1 games. So I picked up Warhawk for 99p in an Oxfam, and it's in this weird sort of cardboard box. It's got the manual and everything, and the games in there. But yes, I've never seen a game in a cardboard box for the PS1. I've only seen like there's like other plastic cases which are kind of like clamshell cases but slightly bigger, but I've never seen one of these. So this makes me kind of happy, and it looks like when I read the back, where is it? Yeah, it came out in '95, which is not long, into the PlayStation's life cycle at all. So I'm looking forward to giving this a go, and yeah, that's going to be fun. I watched a couple of videos online. Looks relatively interesting. So then I was in, I hit Cash Generator, and I was like, man, I've always wanted to watch a UMD movie. It's an obscure format. It's the Betamax. It's the HD DVD. It's failed. So all these movies are really, really cheap. So I was in there, and they had this. I freaking love this movie, and I love the series, and I love everything to do with Cowboy Bebop. Spike Spiegel is amazing, and yeah, they had this, and there was one marked at £2.99, one marked at £1. There was no difference. I picked up the one for £1, and I'm happy because now I've got a UMD DVD thingy that I can watch and see what it's like. I mean, I don't know what the quality is like or anything like that. I'm going to try it with a TV out of my PSP. So here it comes. This is the best bit. So I thought, well, this is crap. There's nothing here. I'm not going to find anything. So I went to Poundland. I got a drink. Poundland, the purveyor of filth, according to Ashens. So there was this little Save the Children across from it. And I went in, and I was looking through the games. There was nothing, looking through the PlayStation games, nothing but sports games. I found myself at the CD section. You know you're desperate when you're looking in the CD section for games. But I mean, I do it in every shop just in case, and it panned out this time really, really well. In the CD section, there was in the CD section, I saw this. This is the image I saw. Yeah, that's. I had a bit of a, and I grabbed them, and I ended up knocking shit off the shelf. So I got them out, and I had a look, and they're all here. Shenmue 1 has 3 game discs and the Dream Arena disc, I think it was, in here, which is great. It's got the manuals, it's got everything, and it's really, I found online that these are really hard to find with the cardboard sleeve. It's relatively difficult to find, and they're not too bad in condition wise. I'm going to give them a bit of love and attention because they need it. So this one has everything in it. This one, I still bought it because it was bloody cheap, and why the hell not? You never see this stuff in the wild ever. So, it's got disc 2, 3, and 4. It's missing disc 1, but I'm relatively certain I can pick up a copy of disc 1 very, very cheaply, considering I didn't pay anything for these, really. So for both of these games, I paid 50p each, so that's £1 I paid for one of these. I paid for these. I paid £1 for both of these games. These games are not rare, but they're relatively expensive online, so I'm quite happy that I picked these up for only £1. I actually felt kind of bad the wee women in the shop didn't actually know what they were. And I said, oh, I found them in your CD section. And she says, oh, they'll be 50p each then. I went, oh, thanks very much. And I felt really bad, so I put like another couple of quid in the charity box. So hopefully that'll come back at some point. But yeah, that's it. This is my haul. My favourite bits of it so far are the Shenmue 1 and 2 and the sealed Mission Impossible. And the thing is they all have stories which are just great to tell because they're actually rather exciting, if you ask me. So I've been whittling on for 15 minutes now into my MacBook because my camera died and everything's dead in this flat. So yeah, join me next time. Hopefully not too long from now, and you can yeah. I don't want to say anymore. Oh yes, if you're watching me because I do videos of music and all that sort of stuff, don't panic. All that's still coming. I haven't given up. A lot of people have been like, "You've given up and you're just doing games now." I'm not. I've got a main channel. This is my second channel. If you want to check out my main channel, it's CROUTS0. That's my main channel. I can't put a link because I'm not editing this. It'll be in the thing, the nipple bar I call it because it's down where my nipples are. Which are apparently a lot lower than usual. They're, yeah, nipple bar, that's where it is. Okay. Christ. Shut up! We've got builders outside. I think I've whittled on long enough. Yeah.